Y'all went and put the hound dog. Y'all put Huckleberry Hound on me. That's what that was.
All right. We are live. And who do
Wow.
I hear? The last one to come into the room is the one that's the loudest. Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. This is N-Time, your host, here at Drama Free Gaming on YouTube.com. I don't know about you, but if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't hit that bell, if you haven't done something with your life as important as subscribing to us, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you should just keep it moving, but we're going to keep it real tonight. I'm going to be short and sweet. Well, maybe short. I don't know about the sweetness part. I'll leave that up to somebody else on the panel, but we got a full house tonight. So I just want to get on with the introductions. First, the two regular suspects who are here. We got Dark Dad 99. That's JJ. What's up? Talk to these people. You the last one and you getting introduced first. Look at you.
Wow. So apparently I'm put on the spot. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Henyo because I'm like lost right now because this brother called me 2 minutes later. He's like, so guess who's on the mic tonight? And yeah, so go ahead, Henyo, take it away.
Hey everybody. Yeah, like I said earlier, a nice round table of guys here that are part of the drama free community, and I can't wait to start talking and conversating and dissecting and having some fun tonight. Welcome.
Cool. Yeah, and I don't know why Jay's like the victim mentality coming in, but we're gonna jump on you for falling asleep on us 2 weeks ago. You ain't even give us the courtesy of saying, ladies and gentlemen, we were waiting for it, man, and you just passed out, right? Didn't you?
Oh wow!
Yeah, we thought you were gonna forget, right? 2 weeks ago, huh?
I'm never gonna forget that one. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I know it's coming, so we gonna get it out the way. But tell us who the special guest is today.
Well, I'm not even gonna say that they're special guests. They're family. They're part of the DFG community over at Discord, and so we have Sleek. What's going on? Almost Sleek is his tag, but we call him Sleek. What's going on, Sleek?
What's happening? I'm ready to go.
He's ready to go. That's it.
This brother,
He's reserving the fire for what he needs to get off his chest. And guys, if you see Sleek out here, it's a treat because I give him all the opportunity to be on and even to pre-record, rehearse, script out, whatever. But he's got something that he needs to say tonight. He wants to say it live. He's gonna share with us here in a moment. We also have Ace, who is just mean mugging everybody. I don't know if he's gonna say anything, but I'm gonna give him an
this
opportunity.
brother said, "Whoa! Did you say mean mugging? Like Ace just kind of like I'm just a bodyguard out here. I'm ready to choke him. I'm ready to choke somebody if it come down to it."
That's what he told me before the podcast started. So I don't know.
I mean, Ace,
take it up with Ace. Let that man speak his speech. Is he gonna say anything, or are we gonna hear crickets?
Man, Ace say, now you might as well go with the crickets, brother. That brother muted. That brother sitting in the corner, like, look, I'm ready to choke somebody.
He forgot he muted himself. I think he did.
All right, so I want to start this off. N-Time came out with the baseball bat. He came out swinging. He came out showing the love, especially against my sorry butt. But today, first and foremost, I would like to ask y'all brothers, all three of you, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to start with my special guest, Sleek. As you guys know, Sleek is the youngest man on the board. Are you not, Sleek?
I am the baby of the group.
Wow. Oh, hold on now. I ain't say nothing about no baby. Now I said you're the youngest man.
I call my wife baby. I don't know about calling you baby. Just saying.
Yeah, right. So, Sleek, I want to start with you, brother. Before we really get into the meat of the show, I need to ask you, what brought your love for gaming forward within you? What makes you love gaming?
Oh man, that's a good question. I fell in love with gaming when I was at a very young age because my family has always been into it, and it was a way we bonded. So I kind of tie together gaming with family.
Oh, that's kind of sick. I ain't never heard nobody say nothing like that. I ain't never had that.
Are you getting like tears in your eyes, Jay? What's going on?
Oh, this brother, the tear kind of like singing, wow, that touched me, man. That touched me right
Well,
there.
we gonna
What
move
gaming
on
did
from you
go
being
on?
touched.
I know.
Ace,
what kind of gaming did go on?
Yeah,
I know.
I'm unmuted.
Now, okay, so matter of fact, Ace, same question. What brought you out the gaming?
Final Fantasy VII is what brought me into the gaming. Basically RPGs.
Look at
Nice
this
puzzles
brother.
here and there. Get away from the real world a bit, from the stresses of life. Especially when you're in school and sports and people have high expectations of certain things, and you can just escape and fade away into playing a nice game that you enjoy.
Nice.
Okay, now, Ace, you and Sleek are brothers, correct?
That is correct.
How can you
All
tell?
right. Well, first off, these brothers told me they were brothers. It ain't like it's a hidden thing.
Like flesh and blood brothers. It wasn't you picking up on that Boston, right? You wasn't picking up on that. Okay.
Oh nah, but Henyo, as the gray head of the group, as the oldest man
the
at the
geriatric senior.
See, I didn't say that. He did. Henyo, I would like to start with you.
Yeah.
As a man who's seen gaming from television and the Atari, from gaming then to now. So we're going to start with then. As a young man, what was your thoughts of gaming then?
It was not easy to game when I was young because it was either through arcades, so you needed money to feed the arcade machine, or you needed to be friends with someone who actually had a system that you could play with. So gaming for me growing up was not easy, and being introduced to it, I kind of had to carve my way through it. So my mom didn't buy me a console right away. I had to make ends meet, so to speak, to finally get to that point. And I think it was because of that lack of actually having those items like having a parent that would bring those into the household made me, as I was growing up, kind of make me want to be the owner of that and take control of that stuff. So I remember my first game that I saw was like a handheld device, and it was just a simple car racing game in which it was literally like a pixelation and 3 lanes, and things would come raining down, and it was supposed to be you in a race car. And the first time I saw that, it was just like, let me get to that, and they wouldn't let me play with the actual device, and then from there it just the fury grew.
Okay, so how about to the now? What changed?
See, so now I feel more in control of my gaming as far as like what I own and what I play and stuff like that. So it was like a big contrast from what I was growing up. Now it feels like I could have any game that I want. I could play any game I want, anywhere I want. So I've slowed down over the years because I'm kind of learning that I can't play every game out there, and it was almost like an attribute to when I was younger that I wanted to play games, I just didn't have any. And now that I'm a lot older, that I could afford it and play it and own it, it's like I came to the realization I don't have to play every game. I don't need to touch every system.
And our hostess, Mr. End Time, the second.
Hostess.
The host. You know what? I'm sorry.
I'm not confused, brother. Don't change the jumper cables on me, brother.
The one serving warm bread.
I know. So
you got any warm bread?
Since you got the second oldest gray hair here on the couch, gaming then. How did gaming impact your life then?
Gaming for me, and I'm not gonna piggyback on what Henyo said, but kind of like similar to that, was just you either had to have the money to go play in the arcade, or you had to have the money to own the system. And for a while, it was through vicariously playing through other individuals who own systems. That it was just the opportunity for me to enjoy the gaming, to really get enmeshed into it, and also, you know, it was a time to get together. Gaming. The fondest memories that I have of gaming with my friends was being with my friends. Crashing in someone's bedroom, in the apartment, in the building where we lived, or heading over to someone else's apartment and just hanging out, chilling, playing. But it was just all of us being together, 5, 6 of us, jumping on a game and playing, whether that was Street Fighter or, Madden or EA Hockey, whatever it was just that hanging out, playing, and that grew, that love of gaming grew for me. Where I had a lot of fun playing on my own, but more fun with the fellas. And now that I'm older, because I know you're probably gonna ask me that, now that I'm older, gaming, what can I say? Gaming now is done more solitary. I pick and choose who I play with. My time is precious to me, so I don't want a 13-year-old screaming in my head when I'm live on a game. So I'm more selective, and unfortunately, a lot of my gaming I do either with a handful of people or by myself, just because I don't want my time wasted and my experience to be ruined. So, and hopefully you guys can hear me, because my headset decided to die, but I'm still talking. So you guys continue the show, and I'll try to get my headset in order.
Well, we definitely got you. Now, Sleek and Ace, since you guys are the special guests tonight, I want to put a spotlight on you while In Time makes sure. Oh, don't say great, man. I would like to know. I would like to know, though, since you two are our guests and we love having you, especially I love chatting with you, brothers. Y'all are family, so I want to hear both sides. Sleek and Ace, are you both? Since you both are brothers and grew up in the same household, what was your first system, and what's your favorite games and why?
Oh, my first system was probably a Nintendo.
Which one?
The first one, the first Nintendo. We had to blow on the disc. Got
that's NES or the NES.
Yeah,
NES.
NES. Yeah, that's right. NES. We had things separately. I haven't used Nintendo Entertainment System in a while, dude. So I haven't used NES for short. Everything nowadays is so futuristic of just disc CDs or DLCs. It was never online. It was always you were playing Zelda by the Link or the Legend of Zelda by yourself.
All right,
a game I wish I would have gone into.
Yeah, right. All right, Ace, what brought you into your own? It's time for Ace to speak. Come on, Ace. Where that? Come on.
What brought me into my own? Into my game?
Yeah.
I want to say it was definitely Mario Brothers was the first game I played. The Mario Brothers Excite Bike Duck Hunt.
Oh, I love Excite Bike. That was such a good one. I love
those
that little scooter, motor scooter. It was such a great.
those I used to remember going home from school trying to get on real quick. I mean, I even played Dig Dug. I enjoyed Dig Dug a whole lot. You know,
see, Dig Dug, I had to pay for. I had to pay for Dig Dug.
Well, I actually bought one of those little systems for my son, and he played it. It was pretty funny. He'll play it here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of sick right there. I like that.
Oh man.
All right, so fellas, we got the niceties out of the way, we got the happiness out of the way. So it's time for me to turn it over to In Time. In Time, let them know what it is.
In Time's not ready.
That brother ain't ready.
Let's
go ahead, Henry. All right, Henry. Go ahead.
Let's just go around the table. Let's find out what we're playing lately. So everyone, just take a turn. Let us know what you're playing these days.
Go ahead, brothers.
Who we starting with? Sleek, you want to
start? We can start. We'll start. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So at this moment, I am currently playing Monster Hunter Rise. and I am also currently playing Tales of Vesperia.
Good game.
And at that, yeah, that's about it at the moment. There's
With
plenty
Monster
of games
High,
I would like to play, but
with Monster High, are you playing alone or are you playing in a group, or like with other
so
people?
I would love to hunt in a full group, but right now I've only been really hunting with I've hunted with my other brother a couple times and Dark Dad a couple times. I would like to get a
Yes,
full group
sir.
going, but
Hey.
we're gonna have to push
Oh,
people to high rank. That's when it's gonna start to get real, real
okay.
good.
So I'm gonna announce it now. First off, Sleek is a beast. All right, don't put it past nothing. Sleek sit around. That dude be quiet. That dude be talking his noise. But Sleek he's a hidden monster. Hidden. All right, Ace. What you been playing, man? What you got for me?
Me, I've been bouncing from Fortnite to Call of Duty, both Modern Warfare and Cold War. Been doing some back into Division 2 and Outriders,
Yeah,
Okay,
shooters.
hold on.
and some Stardew Valley. Can't
All
leave
right.
that
Oh,
out.
my daughter wants to play that one, Stardew Valley.
Oh, it's great. My daughter
Yeah.
is into it. My
Yeah,
son
yeah.
wants it now.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
sure.
Stardew Valley?
So
Explain.
it's a good
So
farming sim, and it's a nice
yes,
game to get
you
into if you want to
inherit a
relax.
farm from your grandfather, and
It's the
you
equivalent to Harvest Moon, but
yes.
just different graphics.
Which
And
is that mobile?
I'm sorry, was it?
No, it's for
Is that a mobile game or is that console
no,
or
it's
whatever
console.
platform?
I got it for
Yeah,
Xbox, and they have it for Switch and Xbox. It was actually cheaper on my Xbox. It was only like $9 on the Xbox system.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
why I purchased it.
I'm gonna
I
have to
purchased
check
it for
that
my
out.
daughter on the Switch. It was like $35-$40.
Oh, really? I think it's on sale right now in GameStop.
That's
I could-
okay.
That's the digital version.
Yeah, no, I got to get them the hard copies because I don't. If they break their Switches, it's the end of the world.
Oh, so that poses an important question. I'm gonna start with the youngest guys again, since you guys are new. Since we are old timers, how has growing up with gaming been for you guys from a perspective of someone that hasn't gamed as long as, say, an Henyo or an Endtime or myself?
So I'm gonna piggyback on what you said originally, your original
All
question
right,
back at the beginning
go
when you
ahead.
said what got us into gaming. After everything, obviously having older brothers and they were playing everything, it was always around me. I've always been with my older cousins, right? So my brother's about 5 years older than me, and my cousins are probably, I don't know, Ace, what do you say, like 10 years older, maybe?
They're in their early to mid 40s or
Yeah,
mid 40s.
yeah. So I would always spend my time and my weekends with them, my brothers
That's
as
what.
well, where we would go
Yep.
there and we would play older games, which is why I'm more into older games because I've always been brought up on them
Well, they had
before.
everything, dude. They
Yeah,
had the very first system from Atari to before Atari, like every system you could have ever
Yeah,
imagined.
they had the 2600s and the 5200s.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Well, yeah, because their
ColecoVision,
mother worked at a toy store.
Oh,
But
Lord.
it was closed. They
Oh.
got taken over. Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
no.
So that's where we used to get taken for, like, if we had a birthday gift or something, like, oh, come here. We'd go there. They'd have
family
like the big.
discount.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
right.
Well, sometimes. But what they would do is, I remember they used to sell the games behind the game desk, where you had that big wall of games behind the glass protectors there.
Right,
And then in
right,
order to
right.
get the games, you got to, like, oh, I want to look at that one, and then they'd always stand over you, waiting for it to get back. You can never escape. But unlike now, where they just keep it out in the open, but they leave the disc in the back until you
they
purchase
used to
one.
do the piece of cardboard
Yeah.
that
Oh,
you
okay.
would go
Yeah.
to.
Oh yeah,
You
that was
see a game, they have
after.
the cardboard. Yeah,
That was during
Oh,
your time. But when we were younger, they used to legit have the games right in the glass protection. Like, they would have jewelry in it,
Yeah.
and then you'd ask for what game to look at.
Right.
nice. All right, Henyo, I got something for you. So how about you school me and these younger gentlemen, and you tell me what life was like when arcades first sprung on the scene.
Well, first of all, you had to know where to go play, right? Especially living in the outer boroughs. In the city, you had a little bit, you had Playland down on 42nd Street or up along Broadway. But in the outer boroughs, like the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, you kind of had to have the local pizzeria to go play at, right? So your pizzeria would be lined up with like 2 or 3 games. If you were lucky, your pizzeria had a pinball machine, and you would just, they would kind of rotate arcade games around. So, they would keep them there for like 2 or 3 months and then, bring in a new flavor and you would hope that you would end up with a good, stand-up cabinet. You at least one was always good, right? So you had in rotation at least Defender, Missile Command, Centipede, or the staple Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. So, at any one given pizzeria, you had one of those. And sometimes you actually had to take a train station just to go play a certain arcade game, whether it was a train stop, further down or not. We would walk it. So, that was, there wasn't a lot of arcade shops. So you kind of had to rely on the neighborhood pizzerias to go play your arcade game. And you would spend, you would say, hey, Mom, I'm going out for pizza. And you don't end up eating because the money that you were gonna eat, you spend it on, one more try. So, that was the arcade, for me, and as I grew older, I started learning more spots to go play at and go hang out at.
Yes, sir. All right. Since I got this, I gotta do it. I got a New York guy and I got 2 Boston guys.
Oh, they're from Boston. All right.
So I'm about to pose the question. In gaming, how is the crosstown rivalry between New York and Boston? Because trust me, you guys got sports there. So what's the rivalry like in gaming between the foes of Boston and New York?
It's pretty deep.
Boston always seems to be the weaker team in the baseball. So that's the baseball.
Yeah, I gotta admit that. They're looking good. They're actually starting off really good this year. I think both cities have had their championship banner years. Obviously Boston has had greater teams in hockey and basketball. And baseball is just legendary rivalries. So it almost kind of balances out that even though they've had more better quality basketball and hockey teams and football teams, to say that. It's when it came to they I'll give them credit. I mean, the New England Patriots are really great.
Not since Newton.
So yeah, well, it's just one of those teams you love to hate, and I'm pretty sure they say the same thing on this side, because you face them so many times, year in year out, that all year around too. So it doesn't even matter the sport. You're constantly bragging rights type of scenario.
Right, so you Boston boys, what you got for that?
It's true.
I'm just gonna say Boston is better at every.
We are the city of champions.
Ooh, wow! I mean, they just landed on thick. Like, look, we can't be touched. I mean, it is what it is.
The question you should have asked is okay, who has a better gaming community?
Ooh, okay. Well, you posed the question. Let's let our guest take it away.
And you know what? In early, between the 70s, 80s, and I would say even the most part of the 90s, New York City really had some like great gaming centers where you could actually go hang out and sit and play arcade games, for a long time, and they started popping up all over the places, and on the outer boroughs, you started seeing like what they call those LAN centers. Basically, they would set up PCs and you could go in there and you pay, per hour to sit down and play. But New York City, was sort of like, I wouldn't call it the Mecca, but they had their rows and communities of places to go actually hang out, to go play. I can't speak for Boston area. I don't know what kind of setup they had, but you could walk up and down, between 42nd Street and all the way as far north as Broadway and 51st, and go play in a pinball alley or an arcade.
Boston
Yeah,
boys.
I was with bowling alleys. We had some arcades at bowling alleys. We had the Salem Willows. The mall put arcades in,
Yeah.
but I mean the ground round when the ground round was around, my big arcade go-tos were like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Simpsons.
Oh, sexy. Okay.
Yeah, I think those games started when you step into those games, you're involving more than just one person, and I think that's
Oh yeah.
what made those games great. That you didn't have to wait your turn, or you didn't have to go up against each other. You actually hooked up with your brother to actually achieve the same goal.
Yep.
All right.
We can also just say that where's PAX East held every year.
That's true. Okay. Ace. All right, Ace and Sleek. Well, I still got you guys on the hot mic. If there is one game you two have a rivalry in to this day, what game is that?
NHL.
Nice.
Which one?
It depends. Every year it would be, whatever it was that year, right? So it could be 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. We
Yeah.
always got them and we always played them. Let's just say that your boy Sleek is
Sleek would get
always
them first,
the
and I'd
number
just
one.
get the cheapest one that was on sale.
So who holds the winning record? Who dominates who in NHL?
Sleek.
Sleek, I'd have to say. Maybe
Oh.
FIFA soccer too. Some FIFA.
Yeah,
Oh,
FIFA and NHL.
wow.
I'm the dominant of the trio brothers.
Well, what about you, Ace? There's got to be something that you hold a candle over at Sleek. Come on now.
The Deke.
Is Jay still running
I
this
don't know
show?
if
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the
look.
I'm the golden child. That's what they call me. I'm
yeah,
the golden child.
like you said,
There's no playing
he's the
with
golden child. When he was born, the Earth stopped spinning for that moment. And there was a golden beam of light.
Hold
Yeah.
on. So when Sleek came out and said, "Give me the knife," and of course they were looking to give him the knife. If anybody doesn't know, that's the movie. Can you reference that movie? Can anybody name that movie?
What was it? What
In
was it again?
time, shut up.
Jay,
Give me the
I am
what?
back, and I'm gonna take over my show because I left it like a half hour ago, and you still talking.
Hey, look, man, I'm just having fun. You the one that wasn't here, so
Hey,
somebody got to
I
keep.
was here.
Somebody
hearing,
keep our guess.
Hearing, and my audio is all messed up, man. But yes, I know. I'm gonna give you that one. If anybody could name it, Eddie Murphy, right, was in it.
Yeah, it was Eddie Murphy. Give me the knife.
I know that one.
Yeah,
If it's
What you got?
before my time, it might be a little
yeah, it was
tough.
before Sleek time. That's Golden Child,
Well,
man.
it was.
That's
Yeah, the
Golden
Golden Child.
I was gonna say Golden Child. That was gonna be my
Oh,
first
there
guess.
you
I was like gonna say
go.
Golden Boy. I was like something
Golden
golden.
Boy.
Golden Boy or Child.
No, Golden Boy that's an anime, and that dude was
Yeah,
a
it's a
pervert.
great anime
But it's,
too.
it's a great anime.
That was very educational.
Wait, which volume are we talking about? Volume 1 or volume 6? Because you don't want to get an anime with me, brother. I'll go there with you.
Oh boy.
No, I watched the anime. I just watched the whole series. I haven't had a
good.
chance to
Hey,
read the mangas. I just watched the
good
series.
stuff. So are you running
great.
around your house yelling? Are you running around your house yelling study? Is that what
Yep.
you're trying to do? Okay, that's all I needed. All right.
I'm learning it every day. I'm learning something new.
Man.
Oh yes, sir.
This is more like I don't know, like a bridge meeting than it is talking about games and stuff, man.
Well, all right. So I got to give the show back to End Time, ladies and gentlemen, because he's back and he's ready to do his thing.
Yeah.
So End Time.
Well, you know
take
what?
it away.
And I appreciate you guys. I mean, last week we could not get on, guys, because we had this audio issue. And I don't know, my headset, my only PC headset decided that it just didn't want to work. And that's why I was out of here for a moment. And I calmly and collectively went through all the settings so everything was right. So then I needed to just get an aux cable, which out of all the cables, out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cables that I got, I could not find one until finally I did. So anyways, I don't know if we have gotten to, and I'm going to assume that we haven't, but Sleek is here, and I wanted to give him an opportunity on a new segment that we want to call Sleek Says, and that was inspired by the one and only Henyo. Sleek, you had something
again.
on your chest that you wanted to get off, and it's regarding a game that's not even out yet, correct? That game is
Biomutant.
Biomutant. Now, you guys familiar with this game at all? Heard anything about this game before we get into it
Now,
and cut Sleek loose?
now,
No.
all I know is
No, not much.
In the Discord chat, when I saw Sleep thumping his chest, acting like calm, I had to hit him
right?
with the Batman, rubbing my chin, like, hold on, now this ain't Sleep,
Yeah,
now.
that brother was
So,
lit, but for good reason. I'm gonna cut him loose and just let him speak
sorry,
on that because
I,
Biomutant's a game that I've been looking forward to since I think 2017, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Go ahead, Sleek, take over on
all
that.
right, Sleep, bring the pain, baby.
So, Biomutant was basically announced 2017, and I've been watching it ever since. And for a little while there, they were giving you information about, you know, when it's going to come out, what it's going to be about, what they're going to do. Things change over time. And today I decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to check out, you know, go shopping for games, just see what's out there. I'm always watching trailers and reading new information that comes out. So I decided to go to, I won't name the establishment just because, you know,
Yeah,
for the sake of whatever.
because you're a nice guy.
Yeah. But I was looking through the pre orders and, you know, there's always the game and you have your opportunity to write uh, your reviews and give a rating. And it's probably because I've been waiting for this game so long, and finally, May 25th, it's coming out. I'm super excited, obviously pre ordered, but it, I'm going to defend all studios with, but using Biomutant, obviously, since I'm, you know,
Yeah,
I've been waiting for it.
yeah, of
So,
course.
but I'm going to defend all studios and publishers and whatnot. Um, but when you see a rating, it's like a movie. Like reviews and ratings are great because it gives you an idea of what you're about to see or what it's about, and it
Mhm.
gives you to be able to use your judgment on someone else's opinion, right? Because that's all it is. Just like this whole thing, it's my opinion. People can agree and disagree, but it's good because I want people to, you know, talk about it and debate and give their reasons why. But I was looking through, and under the pre-order for Biomutant in the Xbox, I see this one little comment, the one little review, and it's like, um, "Is the game ever going to come out?" Basically, and then they gave a 1-star rating. So here's the thing: once I saw that, I was like, "All right, it happens a lot. People are out there just they have to say whatever they got to say. They have the right, so it's fine." But without actually physically having, whether it be digitally or physically, getting your hands on a game and really listening to publishers and the studio talk about eh, getting your facts and information basically right before you make a statement like, hey, is this game even coming out? Of course it's coming out. You know it's coming out. They said May 25th. They said why they've been silent for the last 2 years, just about 2019, 2020. They were focusing on fixing as many bugs as they possibly could. I mean, the studio's Experiment 101. There's 20 to 21 members, I believe, working on this game. So if you think about it, we talked about this last time too, but like today's generation or folks involved with the games are like, if it's not if it's not flawless, then right out the gate the game sucks.
Mm.
Like that's just like how I feel when some people are explaining it, or they're like, don't buy that game. That game's completely broken. Um, you're always gonna have any game that comes out is gonna have some type of bug, or there's always gonna be patches, and there's always gonna be negativity surrounding those things. But the problem with it is without being able to with giving it a rating of a 1 star, you're already giving the notion. I think
Mhm.
that's the word that I was
Yeah.
looking for. That
Yeah.
you're pushing people away already.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, he's right. And I talked to Mangry today. He was here. He had to step out, but he made the good point of like, people have the right to say it because they've been waiting for so long. It hurts the studio and publisher in a way because now the consumers are like, listen, they went silent for 2 years. We've been waiting for so long. Like, why are we gonna purchase this? That's a fair argument, but it's also like you're feeding negativity to something where I get it. I see that side of it. It it's a bummer. It's a drag. We had to wait that long, and now they're finally starting to show more video, like gameplay videos. What it's about, what you're going to be able to do,
Right.
how you learn skills, how your character adapts to certain environments, and it's really cool of what they've done. And he was really the the director was really adamant about saying we apologize for being so radio silent, but you look at the games today that come out and they can have bugs. They're always going to have bugs, but if it's like a lot of bugs, like Cyberpunk for an example,
Mm-hmm.
the game was to people was like it's broken,
Yeah.
sucks, not even worth it. They're not
Yep.
gonna be able to fix it.
Yeah.
And he was basically saying we're a small studio, and these 2 years, 21 of us have been focusing on making sure this game is released with as little bugs as possible. And it's
Wow.
an open world game, so you're looking. I mean, think of the amount of potential bugs and issues you can run into.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the amount of stuff that they have in the game that I've seen. I mean, they're talking almost. They say millions, it's a big number, but I would say thousands and thousands of different combinations of weapons because they're basically saying you can take anything you find in that world and mix it with any other weapon type. So you find a knife, you can attach it to a baseball bat, chainsaw, a gun. It's just it's
En-
endless for what you can do.
Endless
It's just
possibilities. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like you got to think like finding bugs with that, making sure everything looks crisp when you do it. Like you don't want to be able to get an attachment for something and it's floating. It's
Right.
not even attached, and they're
Right.
gonna go through all those different combinations or as many as they can go. It's almost like nowadays it's like it's like a double-edged sword. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
you want them to like, oh, you said you were going to be out here, you're delaying it, you're pushing it back. You said this time, it's we don't want an unpolished piece of crap. But when they miss the deadlines, you're like, this game's awful. They should have took more time on it.
Right.
Well,
Right.
we'll pick one or the other.
Right.
You,
Right.
you,
I
you
want to
can't.
jump in, Sleek, because you're saying so much. There's so many things we can pull out from there, and I just want to say this. I mean, the first thing is first. Let me be crystal clear. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, right? We all agree
Yep.
on that, right? Everybody here agrees.
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled and free to their own opinion. I get it, okay? However, this is just me. I'm done with being, well, I don't ever think I ever have been politically correct. Sometimes we want to argue for something, defend something, stand behind something, are convicted about something, and then we say it only to get a vocal minority to rise up, make some noise, and then we turn around and whimper and we start apologizing because we quote unquote don't want to offend people, or we want to be, what's the word? Inclusive and look at it from all angles. I don't want to look at it from all angles. To be honest, I don't. I'd rather, like you said, Sleek, I'd rather that a video game publisher company goes radio silent for 2 years, gets it right, and when they're ready to launch, they launch and they give us a quality product rather than they trying to somehow appease whomever it may be. I'm on the side of take your time. I got a backlog. I got hundreds and hundreds of games I can play. I got multiple systems. I retro game. Heck, I play board games and card games. Like, I got enough entertainment in my life that I don't need to rush a studio, whether they're 21 individuals or 21,000 individuals, because at the end of the day, I know they're human beings who are trying to put out a quality product, and I want to believe that that's with everyone. So who are we to bitch and moan? Quite honestly, like, can you argue that?
Well,
Okay.
Wait, hold on, Jay, real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
This will be real quick. Everything you just said is like spot on, and the thing is, like I said earlier, what really got me going was the whole rating.
Mm-hmm.
You can, in my opinion, write your review, write a comment. It's cool. To each their own.
Mm-hmm.
But to rate something,
yeah, I'm with you. That would get me boiling.
Yeah, that's how games on Steam, like, people do the negative reviews sometimes.
They bomb
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, review bombing. Correct.
Review
That's what the word I was looking for.
exactly. Yep.
Yep. So again, I just felt like you can't really rate something unless you really get your hands on it. I mean, I played the demo at East, and it felt really good for what was there. And that was what, 2020, right? It went last year.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't happen this year. Yeah, so last year. And it felt really it felt good. Like, everything was the battling was cool.
So you see, I appreciate you said that, Sleek, because you're coming from a place where you actually got your hands on the product and you played it, and what you saw wasn't the end product, but you experienced it. So you're not talking just from someone looking from the outside, let's say in, like the rest of us. You actually handled some of the game. You experienced it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. They gave a shortened version, just like any demo. They allowed you to play it, and for what it was, like I said, it felt good. And they're just going to continue to polish it from there. And if there were any bugs, I mean, you only have limited time to play anyways, with the amount of people waiting to get their hands on it. So if there were any, you either really were really hyper focused on it and you were looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than that, it was really just like you fought a few enemies, you did your piece, and that was it.
Right.
So I enjoyed the little bit of it. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jay.
No, you're
no, and
okay.
And let me say this, Jay, before you bring in your 2 cents into this, because this is a good topic. This is really the theme of this podcast today: to play or not to play. That is the question here. That's the day one that we all experience now, and I'm glad that Sleek is on, because we already said Sleek is the youngest of us here, but Jay started off the conversation today out of left field with speaking about retro gaming and arcades and whatnot. I don't remember us back in the days, Jay or Henyo, if you can remind me, did we gripe about, oh, this game is buggy, this game is needs patching? We didn't, because there was no such thing. We gamed, we played, and if the game was broke, we played it anyways. And we got around it. We got good, didn't we?
Okay. I have kept my mouth shut for podcast after podcast. Those of you who have listened to me, I have held my tongue. I usually keep my savagery to a light minimum. Tonight's the night. I have talked to a couple of people. I have begged for forgiveness, because the savagery I'm about to unleash is not going to be me.
Okay, here's a warning. Any little kids hearing this, just plug your ears for the next 15 minutes.
Your ear. The first thing I need to say is, you bunch of bitch-made motherfuckers who always complaining about fucking gaming, grow the fuck up. I am so sick and tired of grown-ass men and women bitching and moaning and complaining about developers and gaming. Shut the fuck up. Just stop. I'm done. Everybody's done. I want to leave a 1-star review because your game. You know what? Shut up. I mean, seriously,
And
shut the fuck up.
The game ain't even come out. That's the point that Sleek is saying. Like the game didn't even get a chance to be live. That's what
I'm gonna back every single one of my brothers on the panel tonight. If you have a gripe against against anybody, a sorry, sad, second shit motherfucker who wants to bitch about gaming, come back to the 80s and 90s when you had to grind to find out what a game was and what it was about. Everything is a touch of a button now. You need an update, you click update. Done. Game drops. What do you want to do? The first thing you want to do before a game's not even released, you want to bitch. You know what? Get off your fucking period. Take out your tampon. Stop being a fucking bitch and wait for a game to get good. If you can't get good, don't buy the game. Shut the fuck up. Move on. That's what the fuck I got to say. If you got any fucking problems with that, tell me now and let's move on. Questions?
Well, I ain't got
Fiery.
nothing to say after that.
It feels like a wrestling match.
I'm gonna say this, and guys, I'm not gonna make any apologies for Jay. First and foremost, he told me that, and he warned me ahead, and he didn't warn me. He asked me permission, and I said, Jay, listen, I want this to be a platform where it's just much more than us getting together and just talking about games, just like every other podcast does. Now, mind you, we're going to be passionate about certain things, but I don't ever want to restrain anybody, not on this platform, not during this time, if it gets outside the boundaries. And I'm talking about outside the boundaries of gaming, because what Jay expressed is really a bigger issue, reality, condition, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to take sides. I can only speak for myself. It is a reality. We are spoiled. We are comfortable. We are pampered. And
bunch of bitches is what we are. I'm sorry. Bunch of bitches. We raised a bunch of bitches in gaming. I didn't come when I was gaming. Matter of fact, I want to throw this to Henyo first and foremost. Henyo, the oldest man on the group.
He keeps telling you old, bro. I don't know. He keeps reminding you of that, bro.
I don't give a damn. Henyo, when you were coming up in gaming, were there bitches like there were today? Was everybody bitching and whining, moaning, complaining about gaming? Or did you have to step up to the plate? I need to hear from you.
All right. Well, while the oldest, I'm also the best looking. So
yes, you are.
No,
Okay.
there was no bitching. There was no bitching and complaining because that's all you had. There was no patch to be shared. It was you. You knew the game was broken, but you played it anyway, and you tried to get around what you could.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean. First, you start seeing these reviews start coming in. It's not a good thing because it takes away from the game's potential to actually, get conditioned to, to be a good game, and you're not giving it that chance. Viewers are writing it off. I'm guilty of looking at a magazine and I go straight to the reviews. What did it get? It got an 8.7. It got a 6.6. It got an 8.9. I go to those reviews and I look at those numbers. And the same thing with metadata. The website that kind of shows you what's that website that gives you the reviews?
Yeah, Metacritic.
Yeah,
it's
Metacritic.
Mm-hmm.
And if people start punching in, false numbers, not realistic numbers, it drags those numbers down. And, you got what the editors say, and then you got what the users say. And, you pull those numbers down, it could affect the game sales and the developer moving on with newer games, getting funding for future games. So, when the community comes out and, gets ahead of the game, reviews the game ahead of time, it's detrimental. This is why I'm being patient with Cyberpunk. It just got another patch.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, half of that patch was more fixing missions. And
All right.
the initial patch was, I kid you not, was like a roll of toilet paper. You know how many fixes were in those things, and then the second patch comes out like a less than 2 weeks later, and it's more fixes to more missions. So the first impressions are gonna hurt your gamer score, which impacts the future of the developers making more games.
Yeah,
Well,
because
to me,
it affects your, like Mangry made the point. It affects the consumer, the end
yeah,
user.
Mhm.
They could lose out on money right off the gate.
Yep.
Mhm.
And also the problem is too that the games they're trying to push the boundaries with games now, right?
Right.
They're trying to, like, latest and greatest. We want this game to be able to hit 4K, 8K. Like, they're trying to make these games do just hit the peak of utilizing every piece of technology, every piece of hardware. So you're gonna have issues, especially if, like, some games are the first to do that, right? The pioneers of certain things.
Right.
well,
They're
well,
gonna hit all the issues. They'll
Yeah.
fix some of them, and
yeah,
other studios will be able to see it and be like, hey, you know what? They tried this, they did this, they failed, they fixed it this way. Let's take notes.
yeah. Well,
All right, all
going
right.
back to the reviews. Oh, sorry, Dr. Ed.
No, go ahead,
It's
Ace. Go
good.
ahead.
Go
Well,
ahead,
going
Ace.
back to reviews, I would say I'm one of the few that don't go by any reviews. I don't go by movie reviews. I don't go by game reviews. I actually had to
Amen.
do it for myself
Yep.
because people have, like everyone says, have their own opinion. Oh, this game was trash. Well, when I first purchased Cold War, don't get me wrong, super buggy and glitchy. That got me annoyed the most. I mean, how do you put out this game? And then everyone's talking. Then I checked out from there. I checked out Cyberpunk. I didn't purchase the game. I just watched a lot of YouTube. But people nowadays are rushing products
Mm-hmm.
due to the pandemic we have today. We don't have the proper server for everyone going on the same time. You're just running traffic into traffic, just like how you drive home from work. You're hitting traffic, slowing down the server speed for others to try and even play.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean there's so many intricacies into this that we can get to, and you guys are speaking from a perspective. I mean, you, Sleek, Henyo, you guys work in that field, so you understand
Well,
these intricacies probably better than we do,
well, hold on.
as consumers. But go
I,
ahead, Jay.
I got a question. Sleek
Yeah.
and Ace.
Hmm.
From an old man's perspective, I gotta know. Gaming, our gaming experience, the three oldest men sitting on this couch. And I want to talk to the two youngest men before we move on. What the hell happened to gaming in your generation to get us where we are today? And I want to hear
I'm
your
glad.
own opinions from both of you.
I'm glad it wasn't my generation because my generation would have had to be
Mhm.
the finished discs or the finished NES cassettes with their 8 bits. I mean,
Oh, that
we're
okay.
running into the problems now because of our spoiled society of the children
Mm-hmm.
being brought up today,
Mm.
of the impatience of, oh, that game's coming out. And then you have the developers rushing, the team or the
Yeah.
directors rushing these games out untested, not ready. Every like Cyberpunk had so many bugs that it had to have come out untested. They got Keanu Reeves to commercialize it for them. Hey, look at, oh, Keanu Reeves is in it. Dude, the biggest movie star right now, John Wick. Let's get that. I mean, I think if they followed the GTA um setup or maintenance,
Mm.
they
Mhm.
wouldn't have had as big of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
GTA had its own issues, but
Yeah.
Well,
I,
but it was
I'll
great
say,
though. Oh, sorry. Sleep.
I'll,
Go
Go
I'll
ahead.
ahead,
say
man.
this. I'll say that even so, you guys said the key word earlier. Like, the biggest thing was the accessibility. Nowadays, obviously we're fortunate enough to have what we have, and there's still some folks who aren't as fortunate, right? Even to this
Yeah.
day. But even even those who aren't as fortunate today still has more accessibility to all these games, right? One way or another, like way back, not way back, I shouldn't say way back, but when you guys are going to the arcade and whatnot, like you said, like you didn't have the means to have a system in your house. Like every system that came out, hey, mommy, daddy, buy me this, buy me that, buy me this. You didn't have that. So you guys, what you had access to, took full advantage of it. Today, it's the instant gratification. It's I can get my hands on this now. Why am I gonna wait?
I don't even
They
gotta
come.
leave
They're
my
coming out with a
house.
product. Yeah, they're coming out with a product. I want it.
Right.
It's
Look at
that's just how it is now.
It's a
look at
societal
MLB the
condition.
show.
Yeah. Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
Sorry, on the eve of MLB the show just coming out, you have instant downloads tonight for
Yep.
Pre-download.
pre-ordered digital. Tomorrow morning, if you pre-ordered from a storefront, you get it tomorrow. And if you're just a regular Joe Schmo waiting for the game to come out, it'll be on Tuesday or something like that. So there's layers there, but the ability for you to decide when you're gonna get this game, whether it's ready or not, you're pushing up against that developer, and for the most part, that studio has its house in order to have that capability. But the instant gratification is there tonight. Tonight you're gonna be playing MLB the Show. I have to wait till the store opens tomorrow. You understand?
Well, I don't think it's just the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still new to this. I'm still learning.
No,
I'm not
go
trying to
for
cut
it,
anyone
Gage.
off.
It's
Oh
okay.
man,
We
go
step
for
on
it,
each other
baby.
all the time.
Go for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's the instant gratification. I just think if you think about it, everything's big money now.
Yes.
These people
Yes.
are pushing
Yes.
things out. We want that bill. We
Yes.
want that buck. Oh, look at how much we made. Look at all these little people who pre-ordered this. If we scam in, like, don't get me wrong, I got scammed. I pre-ordered Outriders. Because I just wanted the Cerberus skin. Hey, why not? Not realizing it was just for your vehicle. I was like, that's awfully nice of you guys. Extra money when I could have gotten it for free just for a Cerberus skin.
Yeah.
Nothing else special about it. Okay.
Ace,
But I didn't
Ace,
mind
and
it,
you just bring it up. Let me say, let me
At least
ask
you
you
get
this,
your
Ace.
legend. Did you get your legendary yet?
No, I haven't even got my legendary. Like they
Hey.
gave. I don't even know when they're giving those out. I think it's just a fake thing, just to calm people down and keep them going.
No, and we're talking about all this about the leveraging, but they use it against us because they know that we're thirsty. This society is constantly. Apple can announce that they're gonna have a presentation tomorrow for the next iPad, iPhone, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And people are thirsty the moment the presentation is done. They're like, I wonder what they're gonna do next. Right?
They're
The phone
thirsty
hasn't
for
even
that.
come out.
They're thirsty. Oh no, they're thirsty for that because of all the automatic updates. Because think about it, you have an iPhone. You're one of those people that don't really upgrade your phones too often. Why? Why do I have to? It still works. It does what it needs to do. Then you get that update where nothing works. So what's that make you do?
Yeah.
You have to step up and get that new phone now.
Exactly. Now we know how all this works, and today's panel, you guys being here, I appreciate you guys just chiming in and being open to this conversation, because we have guys, if you're listening to us, we're not just going off the top of our dome. We have a list here of things we wanted to speak about. But this topic right here, I think it's really, really important. We revisit it time and time again, and we just want to be real. We complain about what developers do, and on the flip side, we applaud them because they quote unquote give us the opportunity to get early access or exclusive content if we just pay a little more, and we fall for it time and time and time again, don't we?
Yeah.
I say we complain because we end up getting hurt because of the money we just spent for an unfinished product.
Okay, hold on.
That's what it is.
But we don't learn.
Hold
do
on.
we?
Hold on.
We never
do.
learn.
No. I got to come in right now. First off, I say it. If you've heard me say it time and time again, it's your money. How you spend it is your choice.
Right.
If you are stupid enough to spend your money on a game before anything drops, that's your damn fault. You can't blame the developers. You can't blame me. You can't blame the next monkey on the train. That's on
Well,
you.
that's why I like when I do it because I don't complain much. It's like, oh, I know what I did wrong already.
Exactly. You
Hey,
own it.
hey, you know what? That's because you're a damn man. And matter of fact, how many fucking men are in gaming today? I'm sorry, I had to get that
Well,
out.
you know,
Not many.
Because there's, I'm sorry.
You know why? Let me talk to that issue, Jay, because you just asked a question. I'm gonna answer you because we're
Go
men.
ahead,
We're
bro.
men here. You know, different statuses and whatnot, different experiences, different ages. You know, as you have reminded us time and time during this podcast. But we game not because we don't have a life, not because we live in mommy's basement. You know, we all have families, we all have responsibilities, we all have work, we all are adults. But gaming for some people, that's what it is. It's their life, it's their livelihood, it's everything. I mean, it's therapy, it's this, it's that, and the other. And I don't want to understand that, because if I understood it, I'd be in that category. I just want to stay where I'm at right now, right here. And what we're saying is that gaming is that. It's gaming. There's other things in life, and yet so many men, okay, and we're going to talk about men because I'm a man biologically, okay, and I'm sure of that,
Yep.
okay.
I think we all are men on this panel.
Well,
man.
I'm just saying, you know, we live in a time where we have to express it and be
Oh,
clear. You know,
yeah.
biologically, I am a man, and
No, I got.
you know,
second that.
gaming does not replace anything in my life. It comes
No.
alongside as a hobby, as a thing to do with my friends. You know, some people like Sleek and Ace that I've never met face to face. I've come to know these brothers, but other than that, I'm too busy being a man. I'm too busy holding down, you know, the home front, protecting, providing, presiding, you know, ruling, leading, doing what men do. And that's a big issue with not only gaming, but just in this society. Again, we go back to we're spoiled. We want everything yesterday. We have accessibility to everything at the fingertips. And yeah, we get mad, blow off some steam, but I think it's our responsibility, if we have kids or if we influencing a younger generation, to remind them. I want to remind them here on this podcast. It's gaming. Don't spend your years glued to a screen with one game that's going to lead to another game. That's like Henyo said, he discovered quickly that he didn't have to touch every game. He didn't have to get everything day one. I don't, and I've stopped a long time ago looking at YouTube and seeing people who get access to a game a month in advance before the game comes out.
No, yeah.
I stopped. I stopped a long. I don't even remember the last time I did that. I just purposely stay off of the social media because I don't want somebody to have their experience and tell me that they had a good time or they didn't, or you know, if they got sponsored, of course they're gonna say it was good, and then I vicariously live that experience through them. And when I get the game, it's no longer fun. It's not, you know, an adventure. It's not exciting because I already know what the game has to offer. I seen the end game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Does that bother anybody else here?
Keep me away from the end game scene.
Yeah.
You know, as an older gamer who came up with gaming, and I can't speak for the three older gentlemen on this panel, but I would like to definitely, if Sleek and Ace want to weigh in, you feel more than welcome to. But I definitely love it. And what brings my heart the most joy in gaming now is not nothing new. It's when the younger generation discovers how good gaming was, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
When they bring back those retro games. If you notice the
Yes.
big retro game collections that they're bringing back now.
Yes.
Well, you have your pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you go out and you see somebody go, and matter of fact, Sleek shocked me with this when I brought up Valkyrie Profile in a chat one day. And Sleek was like, "Oh, Valkyrie Profile, I know about that." Man, that almost sent a tear to my eye. Do you know how many people don't know what Valkyrie Profile even is? Shining in Holy Ark, Valkyrie Profile, Grandia. The list goes on. The games that a lot of people out here that are listening that are not, I don't really give a damn. Gaming has roots that people don't even know about, and I wish they would find. And learning the roots of gaming, which is why I am a retro head. I rock retro gaming to the core. Because new gaming ain't got shit to offer me that I can't throw a retro game in its face. Name one. Anybody here on this panel can name a game right now. And I can I could probably name a retro game, where it started and how it evolved.
Well,
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
Well, you got to do something.
I was gonna
current
say.
event.
I was gonna say I wasn't gonna challenge you because I've met you in person and I don't want a 6'4" angry black guy after me. So. That's just the truth. So you got that one, Jay. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Okay. So Himyo said Double Dragon. Double Dragon came out in the 80s. But Double Dragon also led to your games in the 90s, such as Final Fight, Captain Commando,
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3. And Streets of Rage 3 did come out in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted. Mm-hmm. So there are plenty of beat 'em ups. And Double Dragon wasn't the first. If you really want to go back and way back, you got games like Karate Champ, the original Punch Out.
Yep.
Trust me.
Punch Out, great game.
Yeah. Oh, see?
I love
yes.
Yeah.
And we're talking the original Punch Out when the announcer was like, body blow.
Body blow.
And the only way you could do King Hippo, you had to punch him in his Band-Aid.
Yes, sir. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, from my perspective, gaming has evolved, yes. And with the evolution of gaming, that's true. But with the evolution of gaming, the evolution of bitches has been up front and upmost.
Agreed.
As speaking of from a man's perspective, and Ace, I haven't heard from you yet, but speaking of a man's perspective, my guys, if you are a man and you just like gaming, that's cool. I respect you. I don't care what you are, but stop being a bitch. You are not a woman. You are not on the period. Take the tampon out. Stop complaining. I don't want to hear it. Be a man. Wait. Buy your game or don't buy it. Don't bitch. Have at it, gentlemen.
So I asked a question. Do we play day one or do we wait? Like, what's the deal? That's because that's what keeps coming up time and time again. Are we there the first day and we just take the game the way it is, or what?
Now, I would say it would depend, because if you play day one and you're able to have a say to the, not creators, but to the customer service and say, hey, there's a bug here, a bug there. If people took the advantage and actually said something instead of cry about it and say, I want my money back, or I want a skin or a gun, say, hey, there was a bug here. This is what the bug consisted of. Like, people who aren't technically inclined could say, hey, I was playing this level and I happened to go through a wall, or is there a secret zone or something? Like, try to explain the situation you ran into to the developer so they can fix it. Patches are based upon people's complaints. That's problem.
Why they pay the Q&A.
Right, but if you think about it, they didn't do much of that for Cyberpunk.
Good point.
Yeah,
that came out right away.
But isn't the reality, and I think Ace is touching on it, isn't the reality that we have become quote unquote Q&A? We just don't realize it or want to accept it yet?
That's exactly what it is. They're looking for free. Like they're like, oh, why pay people when we can make more money, take the complaints from the customers, and then patch it when the time comes.
That's a good point right there.
Brother. You're saving money now. I don't need to hire a Q&A. Hey, I don't need you this week, but I might need you in a couple of months from now when we get about 1,500 complaints. Or more.
I think that's like a a suicide. I don't think they intentionally go in there thinking that. I think there's certain standards that they need to have in place, check and balances throughout the game. But
But it feels
it
like that
does look like
sometimes, doesn't it,
sometimes.
Hold
Henyo?
on.
It
Hold on.
feels like
Hold,
that.
Yeah,
hold,
it does.
hold
It
on.
does. It does.
Hold on. Explain that point right now, Henyo, before you go on, because I'm actually interested to know where you stand on that.
You obviously, as you develop, first everything starts off on paper, right? You
Right.
draw everything out on paper, and then you sit down with the programmers, and is this possible? Could you make this happen? Right? Then you got to sit down with the art directors and the art direction that it's gonna go in. Is this possible? And you're kind of developing the game from that point. Now, when you actually sit down and you start testing these things out, uh, these games are not tested on systems that you and I use or you and I have, especially on the PC market. I've seen this firsthand.
Yeah.
They just don't use it. Even for the consoles, they use a different Xbox. They use like a developer's Xbox.
Mhm.
All right. To think that they actually play the game on a regular Xbox X or a PlayStation 5, no, they're not. They're using a special developer's system. So those aren't what you get at home. So, what they experience is totally different from what you're going to get. And that's the point of failure right there, in which it's not being translated properly. Could they do more testing? Should there be more testing? Of course. Testing is always important. Are they going to run into the same problems that, you and I run into? Obviously not, because they're going through it right now. What I can't explain what happened with Cyberpunk. It's really bad. I'm gonna play that game. I am gonna play that game,
Same
and
here.
I continue
Eventually
to see
I
the
will.
patches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But to come out that way, there had to be some sort of testing. There's no way it could have just been pushed out like that, and I think that was just a forced hand in my book. And I know your question is, to elaborate more on the whole Q&A thing. There has to be standards there, especially if it's a big time developer. There's no way they could get by. The amount of lawsuits they're gonna face, stuff like that. They're all gonna have to meet a judge and say, yeah, well, we have this in place. We have testing in place.
Yeah.
We have that do all this stuff. There's no way, especially a company like CD Red Project. What is
Yeah,
it?
CD
CD Red
Projekt
Project.
CDPR.
Yeah.
CD Projekt. They've been around, so they know the legality and the problems that they could get into. So, smaller indie game houses, their testing is limited. So, not to be excused, but they don't have the power, the manpower to run Q&As. But a company, bigger companies like EA and Activision and Ubisoft and all these other big names, they do and is expected. So when a game comes out, it should work perfectly.
Well, if you
Yeah, I
think
agree
about
with
it,
Henyo. Like you whether it comes out, if no one did their piece, or whether you don't have like the greatest, there's checks and balances. Like it's not gonna. It's like in the IT world, and Henyo, you'll be able to back me up on this.
Mhm.
But if you're trying to push out a product or something, and it's got to go through all the proper like
channels.
like
Yeah.
stations, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't push it to the next part of the project if it doesn't at least
Yeah.
pass.
I'll give you an
mean-
example. Uh, I do work in IT, and I'm an owner of an application. I'm in charge of that application, and I need to make sure that application works across the enterprise, right? Not just for one server, not just for one workstation, not just for one mobile device. So when I say I'm gonna update this application, I need to make sure that it works everywhere else, right? And they give me the environment to do that testing. They'll say, okay, well, here's, prove to us what you're gonna do is gonna work. And this is why I'm saying that, big companies like this, they know that they have to put out a solid product, not a solid product, but they have to go through testing finding out what's wrong with the issue, because it's gonna go through what they call a change request, and they're gonna question, how does this work? What did you test it on? What was did you run into any issues? And you had to bring all this stuff out before you even think about or get a rubber stamp on your request. And these companies are no different. They should be following these guidelines in which they have to say, we tested it here, we tested it there, and we tested it on this. We tested it with this version on this system. They have to go through that process. If they don't follow that process, I don't know who's ruling that process. Who's in charge of that process? That's a self-check. That's within them. So you have to go through that. You have to check yourself. You can't just push something out and expect it to work properly. Yeah, that's a fault there.
And we know by our experiences, right, that not only in the gaming field and the IT field, but anywhere, if there's not that scrutiny and that check and that recheck and the checks and balances and the accountability at the end of the day, it's going to surface sooner than later. And then, like you said, there's going to be people standing before, a parliament or a judge or whatever it may be, and they're going to be called to the carpet for their actions or inactions. And I think sometimes, again, from the base level where we're at, we think, they're getting away with it, this and that and the other, but that's not how it works. That's what I'm hearing.
There's only one company that doesn't have accountability. Big Pharma.
I thought you were going to say EA. But,
no. You're right.
I was always looking for
That's
EA.
a sign of the times.
Yeah.
That's a sign of the times there, Mark. But let's walk away from that one.
Yeah. We'll come back. We'll come back to that. But Jay, I want you to hold that thought for a second because we've been on the topic. Topic is, in the words of Dusty, juicy, and we've all contributed here. But I want to move on to something else, a little bit more lighthearted. I don't know if you guys have come across a game that I'm interested in. I don't really know who the developer is. Never heard of this developer. Don't know whether they have, a reputation or not. But there's talks about this game called The Day Before. And it gives me kind of like that, and that's why I'm bringing it up. It gives me that Division / what's the other game I'm looking for?
The
kind of
Last
Days
Day.
Gone. Yeah, The Last of Us type, vibe.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It does. I
Have
saw
you
some more
guys seen
footage
that?
of that thing.
Yeah. Have you guys checked
No,
that
I
out?
haven't seen
Interested or whatnot? No. Yes. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
No, I
yeah,
haven't
it
seen
looks great to me. I have seen it. I'm almost to the point that I want to start following it. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, it looks beautiful. Number one, and I've already seen 2 environments. How many environments have you seen?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the environments when they're in the city, and one they're kind of like off a country road or something in the woods. They approach an abandoned, looks like a cornfield or something, and they go into like a farmhouse and a barnyard, and then it turns out to be some sort of vault, and then it ends there. The game looks ambitious. I'm not.
It has you.
I'm not
It
convinced
has you
yet.
fixing flats.
What's that?
It has you fixing flats.
Yeah, it
You
has
gotta
you repairing your vehicle. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Has
So you gotta
anybody
go
else on the
find the
panel
piece
seen
of the
it?
house. Oh dear Lord, we're gonna get a new panel here.
Yeah, everybody is just. This is just you and me. Anyways, they can sit on the side and hear us talk. But yeah, you can fix your vehicle. You have to scavenge, right, for your supplies.
That's the Last of Us, portion of that game. In Last of Us, you had to scavenge for if you wanted to do something, right?
Right, for crafting and all that other good stuff. You know what doesn't convince me yet, Henyo? The HUD. Like the HUD looks really clean in all of these presentations. So I don't know how the HUD is gonna look. Is it gonna be congested?
And
Are they gonna keep it simple?
Wait a minute. How you gonna say you confused about the HUD, but you happy about the HUD? Come on.
No, I didn't say I was happy about the HUD. I said that I am not convinced about the HUD. so far they've shown it where it's really plain Jane. You see, I think like 3 icons towards the bottom left of the presentations they shown, which shows you scavenging and all that. But I don't see anything else that I've noticed on the videos I've seen.
So the
I think
HUD,
that should add to.
so for both of you then, if this is the question, would the HUD make you or break you from buying this game?
No, I think for me, what I'm saying about the HUD is that it would give me a better idea of what the game is. You understand? Is it a survival game? Well, it is a survival game, but what is it focusing on? Is it gonna show me a map, or do I gotta like navigate on my own by landmarks in the game? You understand what I'm saying? Is it am I going to see an inventory pop up if I press pause like in the Division, or is it going to be something that's there on the screen all the time? Like I still can't get a feel for the game and the mechanics because I don't know what the HUD looks like.
Yeah.
And the HUD would open up other menus, right? Like to show me if it's an RPG element type game.
Right.
Touche.
And it's to give it like a cinematic feel to it. Bless you. The closer you get to an item, it'll light up, and
Right.
all of a sudden you realize you could, you could use that item. So I think it's more for a cinematic,
Yeah.
look to it.
Yeah, for presentation.
And it also kind of gives you the whole let me explore more and see what lights up. Right. So it kind of gives you that option too. But it will have a HUD, or if not, it'll give you an option to have a HUD.
Right.
I believe.
Right. Like again, we don't know if there's skill trees involved, if there's anything as far as the customization of your character, how deep that goes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on about this.
That is true. That is true.
Yep. So if you guys haven't checked it out, go look up the day before I popped into Steam, and I'm actually following it. So I think it's gonna be if they present a game as ambitious as they are claiming it to be, and it's at least half as good, I'll play it. Because I know, again, you always put your best foot forward in presentation, but then you got to scale back your, what you really think and what you're really going to get as a finished product. So, we learned that from the Division.
TBA.
Yeah, TBA.
To be announced.
TBA. I do want to share here also as well with you guys. Some of you guys know this, but I finished building my Rec Room Masters 32-inch screen arcade cabinet, and was in the lab all last week and the weekend. And let me tell you, it's a labor of love. Talking about retro gaming, Jay mentioning it here, going back to it. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter. You name whatever Street Fighter for the Genesis, Street Fighter for the Super Nintendo. Just got MAME in the machine as well. And it's legit, man. Just this Rec Room Masters. The cabinet is solid. This thing is not going anywhere. It's gonna last a good long time. I got an LED marquee. Still working on trying to get the bezels on my MAME games. And so much to say about this, guys, but it's occurred to me, if you guys watch these videos of these individuals who have built these machines, who have emulated on them, who have these awesome setups and whatnot, there's something that's missing in all of these videos, and that is the truth. That it is not as easy as you would perceive it to be. As far as the build, that was the easiest part. Everything was clearly explained. It was easy to do, but to get the machine up and going, And it's just making me think I need to put some content out here, maybe just even doing like a voiceover of some videos or whatever, and just talking to you guys about if you're going to go down this path and invest in one of these machines and get into this emulation and whatnot, the things that you should do, according to my opinion and my experience, and the things that you shouldn't do, and the things that you should consider moving forward, because it's not a one and done. I can't tell you how many times I uploaded, downloaded, tweak this, tweak that. But it's fun. For me, it was fun. It's like I didn't have enough hours in the day.
So where was the real challenge? The hardware or the software?
The software.
Where you faced
the software. The software, yeah. Most definitely. I mean, again, I can't cheerlead enough Rec Room Masters for putting out a product. And I have a video that I've edited. I have it on my desktop. I have to do a voiceover. My brother and I built it. Definitely recommend, like they do, that you use two people. You have two people to build this because it's just safer that way. Save yourself the heartache and pain from trying to balance things on wooden pegs and then something snaps and there goes your investment. You definitely want two people, and you're going to be moving this thing around. You build it in two parts. So you're building the base and you're building the top part, not to mention buying the television, which is separate, putting it in there, and then lifting that whole thing up and putting it on the base. It's a monumental job, but Rec Room Masters nailed it by having everything labeled clearly. Everything is pre-cut, pre-drilled. All you got to do is follow the instructions, and you're good to go. But the software, that is, you IT guys know. I'm not an IT person. Oh my gosh, it is. It if you're not ready to learn, and to tinker and to make mistakes, I'll just give you an example. I wound up, I had an emulation ROM set for I believe it was the Sega Master System. No, the Genesis, the Mega Drive. And I have high-speed internet and whatnot. Long story short, I downloaded this. I got it on the system, got on the machine, everything's working. But the bezels, were just not popping up. And I was like, what's going on? This and that. So I'm doing research. I'm looking, I'm hunting through the internet, whatnot. And I discovered this thing called no intro ROM sets. And I'm like, what is this? So the long and short of it is, I needed to get those instead of the ones that I had. That means I had to wipe that off my system, re-download these other ones, and that's time. I mean, this didn't happen like 2-3 minutes. We're talking about a whole day to download this stuff. To download it and then to run it through the front end that I use. I use Big Box, Launchbox Big Box, which I bought a license for. But they scrape the entire internet to get you videos and box art and marquee art and bezel art and you name it, it's all in there. And that's what takes time. And like I said, I couldn't find an efficient way of doing it other than just doing it. So a lot of the time was just, spent doing that. So... But it's a labor of love. I would do it all over again, to be honest.
And we live too far apart, man.
And we live too far apart. That's the only thing. This arcade, these joysticks on here, it's arcade. It is arcade 100. I'm not missing a no Dukin, nothing, bro. It's just like I feel like a pro. I feel like a pro, dude. Like I'm like, yo, I never played this good in the arcade. So
he says that now until somebody shows up and beats his ass, and then he
right.
Well, that's how I'm gonna practice.
You can take it off easy mode.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I haven't found that setting yet, so I'm gonna leave it as it is and feel good about myself. So,
That's the only mode. That's the only mode I know.
oh man, oh, but yeah, but guys, I mean, we've been at it here for an hour and a half. Believe it or not, time flies when you're having fun. Guys, thank you for hanging out here at Drama Free Gaming on YouTube.com. Again, we're over at anchor.fm/DFG Podcast. You can hear this on audio. You can come over to our Discord page at Drama Free Gaming. Come hit us up. Come chat with us. We're intense. We're passionate about stuff, but at the end of the day, we know that this is gaming. You know, it's gaming. You know, it's not life and death. Again, everybody is entitled to their opinions, and you're also entitled to disagree with us. And if you do, that's great. We'll keep it civil. And if you can't do that, well then, you know, it's your problem, not mine. That's all I'm gonna say to that. But I think I'm going to dismiss here before it gets late and Jay falls asleep.
Hold on. Okay, see, I knew that, but wow. To piggyback on what he said, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I speak for everybody in this panel. If you want to have a civil conversation with anybody on this panel, we are open to talk. Everybody is. If your conversation is great and you got points to make, I think everybody on this panel is open. We got an ear, we got a mouth, we're ready to listen. But if you want to come and be a straight bitch about it, go the fuck on your own way, because I ain't got time to hear. I don't got time. I ain't got time to talk with bitches, all right? But if you want to be a man or a human about it, step into my office and let's have a conversation.
Jay, ain't nobody coming because I already blew up your spot. I already told everyone you're a 6'4".
Shut up, man.
Ain't nobody gonna mess with you. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you, bro. So just no, but for real, listen, guys. That's just if you hang with me, I'm the same person that I'm here, that I'm anywhere and everywhere. I don't change hats. I don't change attitudes. I don't change my convictions. You know, I got my convictions and I'm going to stand by it. I told Sleek the other day, the game that's coming out soon.
Oh no.
6 days. 6 days in Fallujah.
Well, he's got his convention. So.
He just dropped out.
What's that? What's that?
You just dropped out. You just dropped out.
You dropped out.
I dropped out.
Yeah, man.
You dropped.
Oh, well, I'm here now. Can y'all hear
me?
Well,
hold on.
Welcome back.
Yeah, right? Since we are approaching the kind of the end of the line here, I want to toss a line out to both Ace and Sleek and say, first off, thank you both for appearing on the show, and we would love to have you back. But I would like to give the last couple of words to you two gentlemen, since you're the special guest. And if you got some steam to blow off, you got something to get off your chest. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
I'll fight with you later.
I got nothing. Yeah. I enjoy coming and talking what I have to say, and it's fun when hanging out with you guys and listening. And I like, throwing in my 2 cents when it needs to be, and what I have to say, you guys listen, and that's what I want to do. I want to engage in conversation because we're all like-minded and we all have a passion for something, but we can piggyback on each other or debate in a friendly way. It's a good time.
Except for me, I was quite ignorant. So.
It's all good. No, I just thank you guys for accepting me when Sleek introduced me to you guys. You guys are a great group of guys. I enjoyed when we first started playing Monster Hunter, and I was continuously getting destroyed, as I still do. So I kind of dropped that game for a bit, But yeah, no, it was fun tonight. I really got no steam to blow, It's
come on,
good time.
Man. As a gamer.
Jay,
as a gamer,
later, bro.
As a gamer, bro.
Well,
I know
as a
you got
gamer,
some steam.
The only steam I have is just like you said, Dark. Stop bitching about the games.
There you go.
Play it. When you have a problem, go complain to the developers and say, hey, this is what's going on. Don't bitch and cry and be like, why is this doing this? Why is this doing that? All you're doing is being a free Q&A for the Q&As that may have missed a few things on their end because you're playing it on a system that you have set up in your home console, not a special system.
Right.
And
Hey.
we're all humans. We all make mistakes.
Exactly.
But
Drop
just
the
all
ball
remember that
somewhere of anywhere, you know.
they're put on a timeline too. So
Yeah, that too. I mean, we're not on a timeline. We can play the game for hours upon hours where we can find glitches where they didn't have the time to find it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Jay, you started. I'm going to have you say your piece. My pass it to Henyo, and then we're gonna shut it down for the evening.
Well, my piece is this. Ladies and gentlemen, very frankly, and I've said it time and time again if you've listened to this podcast, it's your damn money. If you want to go out here and spend $60 on a game, make sure you know what you're buying. Seriously, the research is there, the information is there. Stop listening to other people bitch because you want to bitch. Like, just don't do it. Do the research. Everybody here,
There's always
everybody here, everybody's an adult. It
always
takes
got that
5
Game
minutes.
Pass too.
That's it. And Game Pass. It takes 5 minutes.
Game Pass.
I'll put it to task. I'll tell anybody, take 5 minutes. Research your game. You should know in 5 minutes whether you want to buy a game or not. And if you ain't ready to drop $60, don't do it. Shut the hell up and move on. That's what I got to say about that. It's on you, Henyo.
Another week, another list of topics that we kicked out. Thank you guys for joining us. You know, what you guys touch on, is really important to me because it brings to light stuff that I don't normally come across. So when you guys talk about certain games and certain genres, I'm learning something. So, we appreciate you coming on board and speaking out and giving us the scoop on, what's trending or, what's wrong with what's happening with your genre. And till I guess next week, you guys won't hear from me because I'll be in MLB The Show hell.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, hopefully we'll be doing some crossplay. I want to hopefully
For
get
sure.
back to gaming after the week that we had here building this arcade, like I just mentioned. Guys, we're I'm just so glad to be surrounded by men, full of testosterone and not being apologetic about that, and it just feels good, man. It just feels good to be in good company. I'm a patriot. I'm gonna die with my boots on and hopefully in some action. And gaming, again, it's just something that we do, something we enjoy, something that brings us hopefully together and doesn't distance us, because we got enough of that other stuff and garbage in the world with people just picking sides and this and that and arguing about petty things. So,
Yeah, I'm down with that.
let's keep this gaming and this life of ours drama free. And with that, thank you, Sleek, again. Thank you, Ace. You guys really don't know how much we do appreciate you and you guys bringing in your insight, your expertise, and your passion. I can't wait for another segment of Sleeky Says.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. And
Sleeky
Ace,
says,
and
all
Ace,
right. That's no problem.
Ace just he didn't even ask for an invite. He just jumped in the chat and was waiting while Jay and Henya were dragging their feet. So hey, you jump in here anytime you want.
Hey, I was invited to listen. I said, hey, I might as well. I wasn't
Might
expecting
as
to
well.
join you. That was great.
Might as well. And Jay, just so you know, because Ace kind of tried to give you a hint there, he's not so young, okay? So, you might want to put him over to this side, okay? He talked about cartridges.
Okay, hold on. First off, Ace is a grown-ass man. If he wants to say his piece, he can tell me face to face or man to man.
No, I already
Otherwise,
told you I'm going to fight with you, all right? I'm going to fight with you. And that's not Ace's fight. That's my fight.
Okay.
I see you after the show.
Okay.
That's
okay,
right.
Apollo Creed. I'm your
Bring
rocket to your Apollo.
Bring
Whatever
it.
you ready.
Bring it. Bring it.
Ding, ding, baby, ding.
Ain't nothing but love up in this show, but guys, we got to shut it down, because if not, we're gonna be here talking until the cows come home. So whatever that means. But anyways, keep your life, guys, and your gaming as always Drama free. Later, people.
Later. This brother disappeared. Yeah, I gotta definitely hear that at work tomorrow. That's gonna be